Welcome back to Block TV, where it is time for Pump or Dump, looking at the dominant news narratives of the week, and as we try to see if we agree or disagree with the agenda, whether we pump it or we dump it in favor of another. Now, to do that, I am joined by none other than Block TV's crack team of reporters, starting with, of course, Zaki, the boy to that
team.
exactly.
That was my crack.
Zaki Hennessy, Iran Spitzer, the maven with the red hair. Of course, Joanna Hochhauser, whose name I love pronouncing, and luckily for me, also Asher Westrup Evans, the man with the two last names. Now, what we're going to do is try to stake each case, and today, in honor of the end of 2019, the second round will be dedicated to takes on the year that was. But we're going to start with the first round, Pump and Dump. By the way, there are prizes today. There's a prize. Ooh. There's a real prize.
Should have told us that before.
Tangible or intangible? A digital asset or a real asset?
I would love to give you a Bitcoin, but I don't think that's happening. Yeah, that's it. I'm giving you something to dream with. We're going to go with round one. Asher, take this away. And it is, Dump Libra 1.0 and Pump Libra 2.0. Go for it.
All right, so I'm getting ahead of the branding team here. They need to now say that Libra 1.0, that is the stablecoin backed by a basket of reserve currencies, is all but dead. Yael, killed most beautifully by the outgoing Swiss president, who said, and I quote, "The project in this form has thus failed." Not something you want to hear about your project, so let's pump instead whatever Libra 2.0 may be. Now, there have been floatings in the past suggested by the Libra up and ups that maybe it'll just be pegged only to the US dollar rather than the basket of currencies. Maybe it'll be something more like what was proposed by the Binance Project Venus. Much more humble in scale, maybe even closer to PayPal as just a payments processor. Certainly not as ambitious, advanced, or all-consuming as the initial Libra project put forward. But let's remember, the absolute backlash that took place in the middle of this year against Libra, I think this is a sign that was never going to get off the ground, and Libra 2.0 is the future. I'm excited to see it.
Okay.
Are you excited to see it?
I'm excited to see it. You know what? I'm pro-innovation, Iran. I'm excited to see it.
Gang, I have a question though. Do we think Libra 1.0 is really truly dead?
Yeah. It went ahead and died.
Yeah.
It's real gone.
Yeah, I think the regulators have been quite consistent with this. They're like, no, 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 and no. Not only American regulators, U.S. regulators, EU regulators. Now Swiss president. So it doesn't seem to be going good. But I actually do side with Asher right now that the 2.0. I'm excited for it. I also like innovation, and I do finally, please. I hope if Libra does happen, it might bring some actual UI, UX to the cryptosphere. Right. Maybe I'll actually be able to figure out how to send money easily to my friends who might not have crypto wallets in America.
But
if it ends up like a PayPal, who cares?
But how are you going to be excited about a project that failed before it launched and had to revamp?
Hold on. The world is littered with failures. It's that you only have to succeed once.
Honey, Great Expectations is not just a novel.
But I'm saying, of course, yes, this idea was dead. But we knew pretty quickly that this idea would be dead, and eventually what would happen is like a one-to-one currency, like they would only use US dollars, or they would only, to make it fit what people are comfortable with more. So,
Think of it this way. You got two little embryos, and they're hanging out in the womb.
Yeah.
And then one of them dies, unfortunately, and the other consumes it to become more strong. And this is Libra 2.0, and that's what's going to come out soon.
That's actually a great experience.
Guys, no, enough. Zaki just won this.
Yeah. Totally won this.
Thank you very much for the show and tell there. Okay. And now we're moving to you, Iran. First round with McAfee, dump him versus UN must embrace blockchain.
Right. So, McAfee coming out with his outrageous tweets. Let's call it outrageous tweets, because what else are you going to call it?
Whatever are you talking about, Iran?
Yeah, what are you discussing?
Oh, whatever. Anyway, because we dumped it. So UN must embrace blockchain. The UN Secretary General made that statement. It's not just something I put in there to Pump, basically saying that they believe blockchain should be among the technologies used to push forward what, the goals the UN has set. Like a basic example is like sustainability development goals, that blockchain could potentially very much help that go through, so that by 2030 we may have a world that's livable, I would say. But people knock, Dr. Doom famously said that blockchain is a glorified Excel sheet. It is it can be used as such as a system, and if that works, why not? The UN sees potential. Let's use blockchain in the way that it works as we know it now. Good for you, UN, to take that on.
Okay, how naive is Iran?
Why am I naive?
I'm fine with your pump, but with your jump, I want to say something that I don't think has been said before. That John McAfee is to the cryptosphere what Kim Kardashian is to the real world. While he has not made a real contribution in years, like since his antivirus software years ago, or malware software, he continuously is talked about, and continuously is active, and he didn't just merely based on personality. And I like it. He's entertainment.
Did you see the tweet?
Entertainment value.
Did you see the tweet?
Don't take him seriously. Use him as entertainment value. He's the best thing I've seen, not on TV.
Sadly, I gotta say, I tend to agree before you continue, but who did he just describe? Who does it sound like? Not just McAfee.
You're talking about, right? Who are you talking
Trump
about?
kids.
Oh, yes.
Trump.
If you view him as
taking it to a political place, I'm not going to touch that.
If you view him as entertainment, it's a win.
I want to ask a question then, because you said he hasn't made a contribution since his contribution years ago. So I'm asking, was Kim Kardashian's contribution to society as a whole, the net contribution she gave to start her off, the sex tape?
That was
because I don't know if that's a net contribution to society.
I think it's the picture with the butt.
All I'm saying is I lost
picture.
because we're talking about McAfee when I wanted to.
Yes, you're right.
My points are at 0. I lost this round. Zachy still wins.
Yeah.
But I think the point being, can I conclude this in that respect, that McAfee, as we say in the ratings system, he sells. Okay. The word blockchain, sadly, as Colbert said, nah. The blockchain doesn't sell.
But I said United Nations.
Yeah,
True.
All right, I really actually wanted to talk about your point.
Who cares about United Nations?
I'm really sorry. I wanted to talk about your point. I
Sustainability,
wholeheartedly agree with what you said.
fixing the planet.
And I'm going to back your point up later in my second round.
Thank you.
Tease for the audience at home.
Yona.
Spoiler alert.
And we're moving to the next minute up, which is Yona Hochhauser. And you want to dump poor Virgil versus guilty Virgil? Oh,
Schnell?
mean.
Yeah.
Your minute begins now.
Well, poor Virgil Griffith. He was the former or whatever Ethereum developer who went and got arrested by going to the North Korea to allegedly teach them how to use the blockchain to money launder. And he was arrested a couple of weeks ago, and everyone in the cryptosphere immediately came to his defense, or most came to his defense. This poor guy, he was just teaching them about blockchain. He really doesn't deserve to be in jail. What did he really do wrong? It's all about freedom. Well, recently, I think it was at this point last week, he was denied bail by a judge in the Southern District of New York because they found text messages he sent to his family saying explicitly that he wanted to open up a money laundering operation in North Korea, and that he planned on renouncing his U.S. citizenship. He also was found later in the court proceedings that he lied to the court about his residences. He deserves to be in jail. Regardless of what you think about blockchain or anything with that, that's fine. This guy's a fool. He broke the law. He deserves to be in jail.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing.
Look, but I think
I actually am disagreeing a little bit, because I'm going to say one thing, and then Asher, please back. Well,
look at you guys planning coups.
I've greased the wheels to get that prize at the end.
That said, I have a feeling that text, is a stupidity of, we're all in, in text groups, we're all in back and forth when we, SMS somebody, so to speak. It doesn't really mean that he meant that he's going there to teach the North Koreans how to launder money.
Yeah, but
he's stupid.
Yes.
He is stupid. Does stupidity deserve jail?
Yes, when it's illegal to do the thing that you stupidly did.
Asher, pick up from here.
Yeah, no, and I agree in the sense that what a text message in and of itself shouldn't necessarily be damning evidence. That being said, I'm glad there was a bit of a pause. I think there wasn't necessarily a rush to judgment from the community at large to sort of say whether or not what he was doing was illegal or not illegal. But I think given the time and the weight of evidence as it stands right now, pending a full-blown trial, it looks very likely that this man has committed some pretty bad crimes in relation to avoid, getting around sanctions, limitations that have been put in place in North Korea, a country that has committed some of the worst human, war crimes and
Yes, and
crimes
also
against humanity of the 20th and 21st century.
And also, if you read Laura Shin's long-ass thread, like, God bless you, Laura, but it was long, and I read the whole thing.
Clearly.
She really puts it into perspective. Like, for anybody
Conclude,
who
so
thinks...
it's not as long as hers. What does she put into
Yeah, give us a
perspective?
little tease.
saying if he is helping, if Griffith is helping North Korea or teaching blockchain, he is not teaching people who are in need of help. He is helping the regime because there is no way around it. You can't. If he managed to get into North Korea and he was teaching blockchain, that's it. It's over. The people who are getting this technology
going home like, oh, I'm gonna go start my own Ethereum node.
And furthermore,
Exactly.
but she expressed that by saying that it would be, you would have to teach them the internet so that they understand what the technology is. Clearly, that's not the group who's
It's
learning
like
it.
if you
So Griffith, jail.
if you run into somebody who's jaywalking with your car and
Yeah.
you hit them, that's stupid.
Look at his analogy,
But
Phil.
okay, oh well. If you then,
well?
if,
What?
if you don't necessarily deserve prison time, but if it turns out that you sent several texts to your friend, like the next jaywalker I see, I'm gonna fucking smear. Then maybe
That was heavy.
it's a little bit more hazy on whether or not you deserve that jail time.
How would I
Seems like-
understand the current news events without your analogies? I don't think they'd
He
be able
compared
to bring...
vehicle manslaughter to, that happens. Okay, oh well. But
No,
But he did it
Once
well.
again, folks, buzz me
Zachy
because
wins.
Zachy just wins.
woo! I cracked the code, baby.
Wow,
That's for Zaki.
People, it is time. It is time. We are really nudging towards 2020. We've got just a few, a day or so. Round 2.
Wait, I still got one more segment here, yo.
God, I forgot you
One
entirely.
more round. Oh,
You wanted
he
to
won
skip
all the
you.
rounds.
It's all my victories.
Sorry, my God, it's all your victories. To really send this one home, let's finish round 1.
Let's
Yes.
see.
Zaki, and you're pumping the fall of crypto YouTube versus what?
Okay,
Oh.
I'll explain.
Crypto
Here we go. Ding me in. Okay, so YouTube, they done effed up, pardon the swearing. So what they did is they accidentally took a bunch of crypto folks' videos off the line. They were taken down, stricken, given those strikes, and then some even prevented from uploading further. This was a big snafu. It happened over the past week. Big problem. And even though the YouTube team, they have tweeted and then
But since
said,
then,
hey,
exactly.
our bad. We're working on getting it all back together. They're trying to reinstate a lot of those videos. They lost a lot of trust. So a lot of people are saying, where are all these crypto creators going to go from here? And the answer is Vimeo. Okay, everybody's going to Vimeo. I looked at the charts, and Vimeo's getting 86 million monthly views as compared to YouTube's measly 28 billion monthly views. So as long as we get every crypto creator to Vimeo, the crypto sphere is going to take off to this new super engaged Vimeo market.
And die a slow, slow, slow death.
I really look forward to the Vimeo
Guys, who
revolution.
agrees with this?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah,
Vimeo
I think YouTube is to cryptocurrency news anchors what Zaki Hennessy is to Asher Westrop Evans.
He's trying to win the round with an analogy,
We're
but it didn't work
nothing
because Zaki
without
did it
each
better.
other.
As in
But-
your low grade.
Guys, overlap.
But the
Overlap.
bigger deal is not that they can move on to different platforms, rather that YouTube is categorizing crypto in the same way they do porn. I think that's a bit more of an issue.
Well,
you know?
if you listen to the team's tweets, they said it was an accident. They didn't mean it. They didn't fix it
Right.
so fast. Just
I gotta
because they
tell
were
you,
all
I
on
tend to
vacation.
agree because I think that we all, as much as we love the sphere, give it a lot. I don't think YouTube really
Of course.
cares about cryptocurrency YouTubers as
looked at
much
the-
as we'd like to think that they do. I mean, it does sound like in some sort of a technical
Dude, it was an oopsie. Come
algorithm.
on.
Yeah, I looked at
Nobody's
the
looking at
statistics.
crypto.
That said,
And they actually
Vimeo
do
is
get-
my issue because Vimeo, I think, would kill the entire sphere.
Yeah.
Oran
there's a
wins
lot
this
of-
one because she looks really happy.
God forbid.
God forbid. Okay, folks, we're moving to round 2. And this is where we look at the year that was and what should be pumped. So, Asha, we're going to start with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And that is blockchain projects.
Yeah,
Your minute starts now.
You know what? I'm pumping these blockchain projects. I'm saying there are a lot of people are writing off 2019 as the lost year for cryptocurrencies, whatever. You know, I'm not even dumping that. That's fine. You can talk about that. But what you should be talking about is the amazing blockchain projects that are existing out there in the sphere. I'm talking about IBM's Food Trust and TradeLens. I love IBM and everything they're doing. Their TradeLens shipping logistics platform, which has attracted 4 of the 5 biggest shipping lines in the world. We've got the Azure blockchain workbench coming out of Microsoft. We've got the developments in smart contracts, tokenization of content going on. We've got Audius putting blockchain music out there, rareart.io, plus many others putting art on the blockchain. Steam and other platforms, social media blockchain, Brave, with powering ahead with their blockchain-powered web browser. I know they have a cryptocurrency, but we're not talking about that. And the fact is, governments are doing this too. We've got DARPA of the U.S. government and the U.S. military coming out with a blockchain cybersecurity shield. Blockchain is entering and dominating the world, and this is the time.
As the UN would argue, exactly the same thing. So would you?
Exactly right.
Which then, what I was told, is not interesting.
No,
so
this is me backing you. I'm pumping you.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly agree. And I guess retroactively with you as well. Pump cryptocurrency for a second. Let's talk a little bit more about the blockchain projects, because they're coming out and they're using the technology for cool other things,
Right.
and that's
Get that
that's
plumbing in the way. Get that in the works.
Devil's
under the vision.
advocate. What about the whole argument that blockchain, first of all, is not sellable as an idea to a mass population, and it will succeed only when people don't know that they're using it?
Exactly, but that's the
100%.
thing. When you talk about the way new technologies enter a system, it usually starts with government grade, then enterprise grade solutions, then the professionals, and then into the home.
Right.
We've tried to somehow start from the bottom with blockchain, and now I think there's a reverse going on where it's starting from the top and feeding back down through the chain. I think that's how you get sustained use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1,000%.
also,
Start from the bottom, now we
also,
do.
Yeah,
but also
but
a
from the
shift in
top.
these. I mean, especially IBM, like Food Trust. I assume their user experience for the companies utilizing that particular solution
Right.
is excellent. I'm sure they're not thinking,
Right.
hey, I'm using blockchain.
Of course they are,
You know
because
what I
they know
mean?
what they're doing and they can
Right.
start from that professionalized place, unlike, old mate in his basement who puts together something with the UI and UX that would make...
Why
Okay,
don't you guys
no,
solve
I'm
it?
with you. I think you all made your point. I hope somebody's listening in that respect. But Yona wins this round for sign language.
There you go.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, Oran, moving to
Check
you.
the box.
Pumping Binance. I have a feeling I'll agree with this. And your minute begins now.
Yeah, so not even generally just pumping Binance, but if we're talking about what was the story of 2019, this was the year of the Binance. If we can add that into an official, in an
The
official
Binance
capacity in any way.
CZ one can argue.
Well, no, but even Binance, yes, definitely, but even from hacks that became the news to Binance Chain, Dex, Venus, which we haven't heard about since it was announced, but it was announced. Binance US shutting down operations in US and creating an entirely different exchange in the US now to gear to that customer base.
And even controversies.
And of course the controversies as well, whether it would be CZ's lovely Twitter stream or his lives, his AMAs. This was the year of Binance. Did they overkill? Possibly. Could they beat this in 2020? We'll see, that's for sure. But they had a lot of news coming out, and it's, either they'll fall from here or they're going to keep moving up.
Okay, what do we think,
I
guys?
have to agree with her. If you would have asked me, or really any of us in 2017, 2018, what's the biggest name in crypto? Binance wasn't yet that name. 2019, what's the biggest name in crypto? I think you do say Binance. And that
Not only
says
that,
a lot.
since its inception, it's only 2 years old. What is
Right.
it? Approximately 2 years
Thereabouts.
old. That is an amazing rise.
And in many areas as well. They start off with exchange, and now that they have the
everything.
charity, they do DEXs, they're really spreading out, and they're taking
They're
control.
advising the Ukraine on cryptocurrency.
But
They've just bought an exchange in India.
I will say, while their expansion plans have continued, the part about this story I find most fascinating is that as we round out 2019, some of the shine seems to have come off Binance a little bit. Whether we talk about the wake of the
Right.
block story and what happened
Absolutely.
there, or whether we talk about post the hack, or whether we talk about an amalgamation of little things that have started to come out, the way Binance US has been handled. And I kind of like that. We're getting a full-blown narrative. The
But
story
it's like,
arc
what's going to
is,
happen?
the story arc
in
is
2020,
reaching-
are you guys going to Did you guys launch a bunch of stuff in 2019 so that you can develop and be better in 2020?
Or was it just a very long AMA?
I feel this is an end of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back sort of we're heading into in 2020.
And interesting
Find
to
out,
watch
man.
at the end of the day. Very interesting to watch. Okay, Oran, Zaki wins this again.
Yeah! I didn't even talk that time.
Come on, man.
They're all trying to
The
trying to
rules are
start-
mine. The
It works for
rules
him.
belong to the blonde. And Yona, you're up next with YouTube War versus Captain Jack. Okay, your minute begins now.
Well, I mean, I'd do something to dump just because it is called pump or dump, but let me just get the dump out of the way real quick. It's kind of like what Zach was talking about, YouTube's war against crypto. They can't be trusted. But what does this highlight? This highlights a real pump and something that ties into what I think is Captain Jack. His name is Captain Jack, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, but also CEO of Square, which has their Cash App. Now, Jack Dorsey, at the beginning of the year, if you would have asked him, if you'd asked me in the beginning of 2019, Jack Dorsey crypto, I would have said nothing. There's no connection. But
No, he's
early
not an
on, he started saying, hey, I want to hire teams. I want to get my Square app more into crypto. Now the Cash App is one of the top ways for onboarding Bitcoin in America. And as well, he's making this project seemingly for now 2020 to be a decentralized social media. And boy, is that looking like a good idea now with this whole YouTube debacle? We're going to need a decentralized social media. It's going to be tough. But so far, Jack Dorsey has made promises, and most importantly, has actually kept them up until now. That's what Captain Jack Dorsey is my number one for 2019.
Promises
Giving him
made, promises
so
kept,
much
my
credit.
friend.
You're giving him way too much credit, I
wanna
think.
hear why.
Because it's easy to say things. We've learned this with these projects. It's easy to say things. People say things all the time, and everything sounds shiny and fun.
Either
and
that, but I do
innovative.
think Yona has a point where Jack Dorsey, if anything, stands a chance to mainstream and elevate the sphere to another level. It's Jack Dorsey. It's not Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, but
Yes, but he's cheaper.
But he's done it. He's made it. He made the app.
No, but
It
hold on.
is
But I'm
the
going
number one-
to agree with Iran on that sense that he's got this whole we're hiring for Blue Sky, the new decentralized project, whatever. I give the man the benefit of the doubt. We'll
Also,
give him time to
shitty name,
see,
that's how
but
you know.
he hasn't started it yet. He hasn't there's nothing yet happening. Maybe it's a matter of time, and maybe he will. I'm not.
He's got to filter
crap
through all
on it.
those resumes. You know how many folks are on Twitter? It's the number 5 website in the
Right.
world. He's got to go through every single
Yes,
resume.
but he
Just
didn't-
Jack.
But then
He did
you
just-
like this.
he
We're still
did-
going to argue about this.
He
No.
did the same thing. He did the same thing about Square. He put on the tweeter, hey, I want to hire a crypto team for my Square app to develop for crypto. He did it. It worked. They have, and now Cash App is one of the top ways to onboard Bitcoin. He's doing the same thing again for social media. If I look at history, he says something, he did it, it worked.
No, he said
But
one
you're
thing
saying
and
he
did
did it
that
now.
thing. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also, he's promised to decentralize Twitter. Amen to that. I want to see that happen. I do think, though, he's a very big name, and I'm wondering if not all of this has been done to possibly even launch a certain coin.
Ooh, the Captain Jack coin. All right.
If Jack Dorsey launches
Okay,
he would be the
That
She
was
just
a
won. I think that
sentence
was
of
like
Trumpian
biggest
proportions.
hypocrite.
Neither start nor finish. Maybe.
I want to hear the buzzer, or Ron
I
just
got
won
you 2
this for
options, though.
facial
It's either
expression.
Tweet
Thank
coin
you.
or Africoin.
We're not in charge of
We're
branding.
We're moving on to Zaki to wrap this up before there's a winner for this really end of the year pump or dump. Zaki, you're going with pumping Satoshi for real. Dazzle me. Your minute starts now.
Satoshi Nakamoto. The year is 2019. Nobody knows who that Satoshi Nakamoto is. Sorry for the swear. Now, here's the thing. We thought it was Craig Wright. We didn't. But
did?
it wasn't Craig Wright. We
that
thought
was-
it could be Dorian Nakamoto a million years ago. Not. We're still searching for this fella. We don't know how to find him. We don't know what it is. Here's what I'm suggesting. 2020 will be the year of identifying Satoshi Nakamoto. And I know what you're thinking, but there's literally no way to know whether or not it's the real Satoshi Nakamoto in any given instance. You're absolutely correct. So what I'm suggesting we do is a 51% attack on the canon of crypto communities as a whole, and we say, let's all agree that Asher Westrup Evans is Satoshi Nakamoto in the year 2020.
But that's not
he
how
can
it
bring
works.
us home. What are you talking about? That's not how it
Keep
works.
pumping your thing.
We get 51% of everybody in the crypto community to say, just send a tweet, AWE is Satoshi. And then what do you know? Suddenly the canon changes and everybody knows.
Look, while I appreciate that this is a consensus-based system,
Yeah.
There are some technical hurdles to why I
Right.
may not be Satoshi Nakamoto.
Nakamoto. Yeah.
But regardless,
I think 5 even metrics.
regardless
Can
of
we
that
start with the
fact-
fact that would mean that Usher
Is filthy rich.
No, but he
Oh.
also invented Bitcoin at the ripe age
Hey,
of
let's leave my age off the television, Al. But we'll imply that would have been an interesting era in which to have done it. But more importantly, I know who Satoshi is, so I can keep that information.
Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit Easter eggs thrown in there.
Here's the
Good.
thing.
I like
I
it.
think we might wrap this up, but first of all, there is a
like
winner. There is a winner to this round. To this show. It's not Satoshi Nakamoto. You almost won this, but then you said this. That said, I do have a feeling. Listen, boys and girls,
Look
you've
at
been
her pulling out a
fabulous.
Oh my god!
And
Look at that.
Zachy, of course, does not drink. He's going to win this
Yay!
and gift it to somebody on the panel.
Which one's this
and there
one?
we
This
go.
one? Are we in this one? That one.
With the most, no, bravo. Now I want you to count us down, because that's what we're going to do until the 31st. We're going to start actually from, it's almost New Year's, folks. So, 8, 7,
Oh, six.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Thank you, little pumper dumpster. No, I think the show ended a minute ago.
I've never heard that song in my life.
Never heard Old Lang Syne?
Old Lang Syne?
Old Lang